This is Outriders. The weapon I'm holding? That's an uncommon automatic shotgun. Outriders is a 1 to 3 player drop-in looter shooter developed by People Can Fly and published by Square Enix's European division. To sum this game up quickest and best for anyone watching this, think Destiny 2 and the Division had a baby and Borderlands babysits it from time to time. Overall, it's an incredibly immersive game with a very hefty feel to its combat and progression systems. The game itself isn't actually open world, but rather hosts what the developers call hubs. Each hub is home to some side quests, each contains boss fights or random wave spawns, as well as a main objective and a few loot boxes and collectibles to find here and there. The actual world itself, however, will level up as you progress through missions and exploration. If you've ever played Diablo 3 before, think of this system as similar to the Torments. As you increase your character growth, the world will go from easy to hard to master, etc., etc. As your world level progresses, so do the rewards, but also the challenges, respectively. For example, at master level, the enemies leveled are +3 over yours. There is a 2+ level cap on equipment, meaning you can only use equipment up to a certain number of your current gear. It gets so crazy that eventually there's an insane mode that boosts enemies +12 levels above yours. Much of the game's mechanics derive behind cover-based fire, although there are some perks and classes that add some long range and some close-up playstyles. I won't go into detail at all about the classes and the skill trees as to avoid any mundane information you can find yourself, but yes, you get a class. I chose the Pyromancer, 3 skills and corresponding buffs and debuffs alike to fit your choice of playstyles. However, the cream of the crop in this game is the combat and the loot, and there is so much goddamn loot. As with games like Cyberpunk, everything you can equip can be upgraded and tweaked. Dismantling gear gives you resources and materials for upgrading and crafting, as well as scavenging for them out in the world. The coolest thing I liked about the upgrading was the modding and the swapping variants. You can change the type of gun, so to speak. For instance, here I changed the shotgun from a standard to a slug shot. This basically ups the damage while reducing the clip size and instability. You can also change the rarity and the attributes of weapons too. You can get more anomaly power or leech drain from them or things like that. It's pretty in-depth for weapon upgrading if I say so myself. Outriders is a very promising looter shooter. It's currently one of my favorite games of all time, and excitement is steadily growing with an emphasis on its in-game content. The developers and reviewers alike express how exciting the in-game content proves to be, but I won't go into any spoilers, and all of that info you can find on your own time. So far at launch, however, there are some issues with the game. Nothing that renders it unplayable, but some minute bugs and glitches here and there, and keep in mind I'm on a PS5 version. My favorite issue with the game so far though, the amount of time it takes to authenticate and actually get into the server. This is raw, undoctored footage of me trying to log in before I edited the review.
2,000 years later, 6.5 hours later, a few inches later, Day 2, Day 3, Day 4, a few moments later, 1 eternity later, 3 days later, 12 seconds.
And ultimately, I just end up timing out without me actually getting to play. So let's get this handled ASAP, Square Enix. Other than that, I can highly recommend Outriders. Thank you for your time. Keep grinding.